Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie-cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Strap up your headgear and try not to hit the mat too hard. This is Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska wrestling head coach Mark Manning.
Facts don't lie. Wrestling is a pretty big deal in the Big Ten, so it's a pretty big deal to us.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Stevens & Smith Construction. Here is your host, Mark Manning.
It is New Year's Eve, and it's been quite the run, 2024. Pretty exceptional, with lots of things to look forward to for 2025. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line. You want to be a part of what we're doing, you can. In fact, text in, and if you have questions, comments, or other things that you want to be heard, shout-outs or otherwise, you can do so. You can follow us on all the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo channel 961. We are waiting the arrival of Husker head coach Mark Manning to carry us through this next hour, and then we will hand it over at 6 p.m. to Harrison Arns to carry us through up until about 8. I think he's going to be on until 8 o'clock tonight on New Year's Eve. And then tomorrow there'll be football all day here on the ticket. So you'll be able to kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy. Lots of things in play, but Harrison is got his eyes to the door. Austin, if you would please, you have a friend of the station that we need to talk about.
Indeed. 2 friends specifically. Great names of Stevens and Smith. Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling on 93.7 The Ticket is sponsored by our friends at Stevens and Smith Construction. That's an employee-owned company with nearly 250 employees with over 2,000 years of service between them. They lead the industry as a full-service concrete company. They specialize in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've got locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City. Check them out at stevensandsmith.com. That's Stevens, STEPHENS, and Smith.com.
Here we go. Thank you, kind sir. Greatly appreciate it. It has been, and I wanted to set the table for it because Husker Wrestling has had quite the 2024. Several road trips, one to Vegas for the Cliff Keen Vegas Invitational. They traveled to Carolina for kind of a joint venture between Campbell and UNC, going between what is it's I want to say the area of Campbell University and Chapel Hill, hour apart in Carolina. Then they went to Annapolis and won the Navy Classic as well. And then they came back and then they had success against Augustana and Nebraska Kearney. They are next up January 5th against Northern Iowa. They go to Cedar Falls on the 5th with an opportunity to make a statement again. When you're in that top 5 space, having those moments are vital and important. Jay Foreman.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
2 things. I hope Rico's listening.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a tongue twister out there, but I was able to get it. But number one, DP, I heard you talking what day it was. You're talking about your favorite wrestler.
Yes.
No Bruiser Brody and Sid Vicious.
Oh, Sid, the most fragile
The
legs,
big man. Yeah,
the most fragile legs in the history.
he missed leg day.
Like he missed leg day to the point where the bones. He jumped off the top rope and broke his own leg.
But those two as a tag team, right?
And then
And
Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody was maybe the most authentically scary.
Because that's who he was. Bruiser Brody.
That's really who he was.
He used to be the berserker.
But then his story.
Yes.
And
Austin, how he died.
Austin, are you familiar with the Bruiser Brody story?
And how
but he looks like a crazy man.
Okay.
And how he died.
Do you
so
know
those are my 2 favorites.
Right. Do you know that he played in the NFL?
I did not know that.
Do you know who he played for the Washington Redskins?
Okay.
Played for the Washington Redskins in the NFL, went to pro wrestling. And if you want an inside, like you want a crash course on pro wrestling and some of the inner workings and quite frankly, some of the scary parts of it.
Yeah.
There's 2 documentaries.
Yeah. And then Bruiser Brody's one is
on the life and death of Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's kind of one that they did that. Remember Chief Wahoo McDaniel? He played for the Jets. And then Manny Fernandez, remember him?
Manny Fernandez played it. So Wahoo,
he played for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
right?
Wahoo played for the Jets, where he was a tackle and the kicker.
See?
And the kicker. And his chief rivalry at the time, played for the Kansas City Chiefs, 6'9" and 300 pounds of Ernie the Big Cat Ladd.
There you go. See, they're awesome. Anyways, didn't want to interrupt you guys. I want to wish you guys a happy New Year?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Jay.
Well, I'll let you in I guess a couple days.
Yeah, thank you, kind sir. Yeah, it was.
You got him on there? He's always there you go.
Yeah.
It looks like a crazy man.
He was different. It was so much of this that in that era, if you talk about like Baron von Raschke, who again, I'm not sure if you know so Baron von Raschke was to describe him as this angry German that
a German. He was
Baron
German.
von Raschke, who had his hold was called the claw. And he would just walk up to you and he would grab his wrist and take his fingers and dig his fingers into your skull and squeeze.
No, thank you.
But here's the thing about Baron von Raschke. Baron von Raschke's from Nebraska. Actually played football for the Huskers and wrestled for the Huskers. Baron von Raschke wrestled for the University of Nebraska, and I want to find the time in that.
He was born in 1940, so he would have been in college in 58 to 61 or 2.
Yeah, so 60 and 61, he played offensive line for the Huskers, and he wrestled for the University of Nebraska. Yeah, how you like them apples?
About it,
right? Like, you can find the pictures of, if you put in James Raschke, Raschke, and he born in Omaha in 1940, and then played football and wrestled here at the University of Nebraska, and had some success, as a matter of fact. There's a really cool
Big
picture.
8 champion in the heavyweight in 62.
Right. Like, it's
bronze
pretty
medalist
cool.
in the World Championships in Helsingborg.
Right.
In 63.
Pretty cool picture of him wearing the
Not
Husker
bad.
singlet. There's a pretty cool picture of him. Now, he was renowned for several things. One, a German accent that was, of course, was manufactured. And that he was one of he shaved his head, so he enhanced the villainous nature. But the Claw, which was so famous that it made several movies. As a matter of fact, last year they just released a movie, and it has some clips of Nebraska wrestling because it tells the life story of James Baron von Raska.
I do have to ask, you mentioned the shaved head thing. In pro wrestling, how many of the best heels have a shaved head?
Back then, it was a thing.
It was the tell.
Yeah. There were no, you weren't bald headed and a good guy. That's not what it was doing. It was there was a guy,
even if you were naturally follically challenged.
Right. Right. The guy that also comes to mind was a guy, another villain, another heel by the name of Ox Baker. And if you want to talk about scary looking dudes, Ox Baker looked like if Hollywood created a pro wrestler, if Hollywood created a pro wrestler, Ox Baker would be it.
The great heart puncher.
Yeah. So he would get you and he would hold your arm over your head, and then punch you in the heart, and it would stop your heart, and you would long enough for him to pin you. But Nebraska has great history in with wrestlers because the DiBiase family is from Nebraska. Sting is from Nebraska or spent time here. There was somebody else. Oh, so when you talk about pro wrestling, you have to talk about, you cannot tell the story of pro wrestling without talking about somebody with a Nebraska tie. His name was Gorgeous George. And if I recall, right, Gorgeous George was the first of the folks who created the persona that was bigger than just wrestling. He had a valet that sprayed perfume into the air. He was Ric Flair-esque with robes and the curly hair. He was when wrestling was on one of the 3 channels of television, it was on every week. Gorgeous George was Hulk Hogan times 5 because the entire country watched Gorgeous George.
From Butte, Nebraska.
From Butte, Nebraska, correct.
Boyd County stand-up.
Right. Like when you think about it that way, that Nebraska wrestling has had, and there's been some discussion as well in the next transition of wrestling that people have asked, is that transition to UFC, to mixed martial arts? And that's a thing. There's a young man by the name of Grant Dawson who was in the UFC's top 15 in his weight class. He was actually going to go to Nebraska and wrestle. He's from Omaha, and he was going to wrestle, but he had a learning disability, and so he just decided he would go into MMA. And he's had that turns out that was like the right decision to make. He was a top wrestler in the state. I'm trying to remember.
Grant Dawson, you said?
Grant Dawson. He Stromsburg, Nebraska.
By Shelby and Osceola.
Yep. And, he was a pretty good football player, but a better wrestler. Thought about going to college and doing it at Nebraska. Was worked under the folks from Lincoln Mixed Martial Arts and Team Viper. And there's these regional dojos, but I'm always surprised that there aren't one at the number of Nebraska professionals, people who wrestled in the state of Nebraska in high school, who then go into MMA and make it to the UFC level. But I'm also surprised by the level of success of the Nebraska wrestlers. So there's something in the water from Nebraska. It's AAU and lower level, development level wrestling. And you when you talk to the Husker wrestlers, they're all training young people. They're training kids younger than them around the area and around the state,
which is fantastic. Hats off to them for that.
Right,
That's incredible.
It's a full thing, right? To know that not only doing this at a high level, and again, it's a top 5 program. And shout out to Mark Manning for creating a top 5 program that's constantly in that space and being elite, especially with it being in the Big Ten, where 4 of the top 5 teams in the country are
4 of the top 5 teams in the Big Ten.
Right. Like literally you're in the pit. And then there's this thing that happens as well, that as great as Nebraska's individual wrestlers are, it requires the full completion to compete on the team level. So even if you can get a one-off and get a Big Ten champion or a national champion, it's a big deal because they have to run through and repeatedly beat Big Ten wrestlers all up and down the tournament and throughout the year. And so it's always pretty interesting. There are several that are currently ranked. I want to say that Antrell Taylor is the one that currently sits at the number 1 ranking at his weight division this season. And Trelly has done he's had great tournaments. I think there are 7 Huskers in the top 10. But I think Trelly is currently at 1. Caleb Smith was at 2, is probably now at 4 or 5 and at 125. We can pull up. Let's do that. Here's what we'll do, Austin. We'll pull up that stat because I do want to go through it because it'll give the stats, and otherwise, Coach Manning obviously has something going on. But we'll pull that up. So let's go to break. We'll take an early break in this, come back and go long in the second segment. I do want to talk about the current year that Manning's calling now, and he could probably call in. We can set that up. We'll go to break. Takedown Tuesdays on the ticket.
Time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie-cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 32. Tonight, a chance of 4 rays, otherwise partly cloudy with light winds, a low near 22. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high around 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
Back to Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling head coach Mark Manning, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Takedown Tuesday. This is the final one of 2024. It won't take you long to get a Takedown Thursday. I just talked to Coach Mark Manning. Yeah, something come up. It happens with coaches. That's the thing. So he's going to reschedule for Thursday, 5 o'clock hour. Takedown Tuesdays here on the Ticket. And, of course, Jay will be here. And, of course, the two of them together is always good entertainment. But Austin Orman and myself will carry you through the rest of the hour here with Takedown Tuesdays. And we want to stick with wrestling and Husker wrestling. Once again, Austin, the read for our friends that make this happen.
Indeed, those friends are Stevens and Smith Construction that sponsor Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling on 93.7 The Ticket. Stevens and Smith Construction is an employee-owned company with nearly 250 employees that have combined for over 2,000 years of service. They lead the industry as a full-service concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've got locations here in the Midwest in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City. You can check them out at stevensandsmith.com, STEPHENS, and smith.com.
So the Huskers currently sit at 5-0 for the season. And that speaks volumes, but just to understand that Utah Valley, Campbell, North Carolina, winning the Navy Classic, winning the Keene Classic, Keene Invitational in Vegas, and then beating Augustana and Nebraska Kearney. So there's several wins in it, and some of the records that jump out at you. They're having quite the year. So I want to spend a little time doing two things. One, reintroducing some of the Husker wrestlers and the kind of years that they're having. But to set the table, because January 5th, they go on the road. Nebraska goes on the road to Northern Iowa. And this is a really good Northern Iowa program. These are always battles and competitive battles. That'll be interesting. And then they have a week, and then they take off. They come back here. It's Back in Black night at Devaney Center on January 11th.
Black singlets.
Yeah, I would imagine that's what it is. And that it's a 3:30 on Saturday meet. And I think it's important to note a couple of things. And here's what we know about the Big Ten wrestling. Can't take anything for granted. Can't look past anybody for anything, any reason, ever. So as they come in, the Huskers currently sit at number 4 in the country. Northern Iowa is at 11. Minnesota is at number 10. Number 10.
Yeah.
So these are quality programs that they're going to have to go through. And you can't look ahead in Big Ten wrestling, except everybody in the Big Ten looks ahead because there's a name that they look for and they have to circle on the calendar, and you have to prepare yourself for it. Why? Because the reigning defending national and Big Ten champion Penn State Nittany Lions will come to Lincoln on January 17th.
Woo!
January 17th. Now, I'm going to tell you how big that is, because I was invited to go to Los Angeles for UFC 313. And that's a big one. It's the first big one of the year. And it's a card. 1 through 15, banger after banger after banger. But I said no. I'm going to stay here because Penn State's coming. Now, Husker Athletics has gone out and Austin, we need to capture this. Here's the challenge. Husker Nation needs to get moving right now. And I mean right now.
Like 10 seconds ago?
Go
or
to
now?
Go to Huskers.com and pull up wrestling and go to tickets, because it's the coach's challenge, but it is also the challenge to pack Devaney Center in the sea of red. What we know about Penn State fans and Penn State wrestling is that they travel. Don't want to see a lot of that awful blue.
Like zero,
but we want none of it. None of it. So, Husker Nation, and for the fully supportive fans who, even in general mission, if you have friends that have never been, get tickets and invite them. If you have young wrestlers in the community or in your house, get tickets and invite them. The bug has to bite. There has to be squeeze to the juice to the squeeze. The whole mission is to sell out Devaney with Husker fans. Don't leave the tickets sitting in idle and let Nittany Lion fans sneak in the door and make noise in your house.
Don't be Ohio State football fans. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So the mission is to sell out Devaney and sell it out in advance and sell it out with Husker fans. Do not allow Penn State to come in here and bring their fans and show up in Devaney Center. So the push is simple. Go to Huskers.com, go to the wrestling page, go to teams, go to the wrestling page, click on tickets. If you don't have tickets, get your tickets. The number one program in all the country comes in. Number 1 Penn State versus number 4 Nebraska. And if this is how
get revenge for 1982, Husker fans.
Right? That these moments exist. And this lineup deserves that kind of support.
Dang good lineup, as always, but
it's a great lineup. So let's go through some of the folks. So you have whose rankings do you have in front of you?
I have Intermat pulled up right
so
now.
He has Intermat. I have the folks from Flow Wrestling. And we'll go through the weight classes. Now, I do want to point out a thing that I find interesting, and we'll get to it when we close this segment up. But the heavyweight has a story. The heavyweight division has a story. But at 125, the Huskers are having a fantastic year. They've run several wrestlers out. But Caleb Smith at 125, the senior, is currently ranked by Flow Wrestling as number 5.
Same at Intermat with an 11-2 record.
11-2. He's at 5. He faced Virginia Tech's 125 and lost to him. But he's at 4. Caleb is at 5. And then Matt Ramos from Purdue, also in the Big Ten. Shocker.
Funny.
Shocker. Sitting at 1 at 125. At 133. And I think it's just the current ranking. I can tell you that Jacob Van D has the potential to make a full run in this weight class. Flow Wrestling has him at 21. Where does your
Intermat is in the same neighborhood at number 20?
At number 20. It's one of the few weight classes. Ryan Crookham from Lehigh, when you go outside of the circle, that Lehigh, Cal Poly, and Little Rock actually have wrestlers in the top 20, which is rare, but sometimes.
But then you have Illinois, you have Iowa, you have Penn State.
Everybody from
you have
the
Ohio
Big
State, you have Minnesota.
Yeah, everybody from the Big Ten.
You have Rutgers, you have Maryland.
They're all in it. And Maryland is getting there. A shout out to Virginia Tech. Because quietly and profoundly they have snuck into the top 5 as a team, and they have some depth up and down their lineup, but it's a thing.
Wrestling team's deeper than the basketball team, just lost by 23 in Cameron.
Wow. Yeah, you feel really bad about that.
Just breaks your heart.
I know you do.
Breaks your heart.
At 141, the Brock Hardy. Currently at Flow Wrestling has him at 5.
Likewise, that Intermat.
Intermat has him at 5 and
12-1.
Well, I mean, here's the thing that Ohio State and Penn State have Big Ten wrestlers in that space. He's good. We mentioned Northern Iowa sitting at number 9 in that weight class at 141 is Cale Happel from Northern Iowa.
8 at Intermat.
Right. So when we point out that there's some work coming, Northern Iowa is not traveling. They're not inviting Nebraska in and not having a plan. At 149, Ridge Lovett, the senior, sitting at number 5.
Likewise at Intermat.
Number 5. I saw the number 1 in this weight class in Caleb Henson from Virginia Tech, as we were just talking about. He's legit. Then Penn State's Shane Van Ness. Iowa's Kyle Parko at 4. Lachlan McNeil from North Carolina, who we've already seen in the early matches, and then the usual run of suspects. So, yeah, 157. An interesting weight class, super competitive. At number 5 at 157 from Northern Iowa, Ryder Downey, and from Nebraska at number 4 is Antrell Taylor. Northern Iowa, this is going to be a brawl. This is going to be a brawl, right? And I think it's on purpose. And then, of course, Ja'Cory Teamer sitting at 1. Penn State's Tyler Kasich at 3. So that's a loaded weight class.
Yeah, Antrell said at number 3 in Intermat, but he's got a record, according to this, of 13-0. Two guys ahead of him have records of 2-1 and 1-1. There's only, as I scroll down here, one guy I see with more wins on the season than Antrell Taylor. It's Tommy Askey of Minnesota with 14-1 on his ledger this year, down at number 10. So the 13 wins from Antrell are the most in the top 33 that I see ranked here.
He's having a year. Tournament title. He's already got tournament championships on his belt for the season. So Trelly, and for those that have been to meets at Devaney, Trelly is a rock star, and it's good to have him have his story, his family's story, and his success is just remarkable. And he's a great young man, great family as well. At 165, I'm going to take some pride in some extra pride, take a moment and cheer this one because, yeah, Penn State, Iowa at the top of this thing, Utah Valley, Terrell Bearclaw, who, the Huskers have seen. But at number 7 is Bubba Wilson. And
he and his 10-3 record at 7 on Intermat as well.
The journey for Bubba to change weight classes.
He told us about it on this show.
Right? And listen, for all of these guys, the stories are remarkable of what they go through to make weight and what they do for teammates and for the program. But him making the decision that, you know what, I'm going to cut weight. I'm going to go to this weight class. And he is currently sitting at 7 in this weight class. And it's a stack. Now he's going to face Jack Thompson from Northern Iowa, who's also top 20. So there's no resting.
No.
There's no resting.
No.
There's no resting here. The Huskers have their hands full, and this is a gauntlet. This is a gauntlet for the Huskers when it comes to this thing. And then we go to 174. And to tell you again, Minnesota. No, let me make sure I went to the wrong weight class. At 174, you're talking about the depth of Penn State's Levi Haynes being number 2. This is some work. Virginia Tech, Iowa, all up in front. I think this is one where Nebraska will move up because at 174 is Lenny Pinto. And a healthy Lenny Pinto is easily a top 5 in this division wrestling.
And of course, as we've heard again on the show, healthy is a relative term.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no such thing as a healthy wrestler.
Right.
As they will tell you.
Right.
But he's at 17, according to Intermat in the 174 class.
And he's going to face, from you and I, he's going to face Jared Sema, who is currently ranked at 14. So again, that trip to Cedar Falls is not a party. Not a party. At 184. And this is the leadership aspect of it. That, Silas Allred is going to have, again, if you've got Lenny and Silas back to back, and we kind of listen to them go bounce off each other on how they prepare this thing. But Silas is currently ranked at 7. And if you said to me, where does he finish? I think he's a top 3. And then depending on the draw and how he feels in this thing, he's a threat to win both the Big Ten and the national championship.
He's got a couple of Big Ten guys ahead of him, 3 of them, or 2 of them right ahead of him, according to Intermat. The guy from Penn State at number 1 and Minnesota's guy at number 4. But he's sitting there at number 5, but an 11-0 record.
Mm-hmm. Listen, it's going to be this is all fantastic, right? That we talk about Husker basketball, Husker football. We talk about 4 and 5 star. We talk about all those things. But here are all of these Nebraska student athletes, who are sitting in the top 20, often top 10 of their weight class nationally. And these are national rankings. This is not on a local level.
No,
this
national.
is on the national level of what's going on. An interesting story at the next weight class, because we got to meet Camden McDaniel. We got to meet Cam McDaniel a few weeks ago. And at 197, if you want to know the future face of Nebraska wrestling, it's the freshman Cam McDaniel. I watched him in Vegas, and he has a grit and a toughness. He also has an unnatural emotional maturity for a true freshman in wrestling.
Presence when he walks in.
Right? Like he doesn't waver much. And he's got this great family support of watching folks talk him through his matches in Vegas. Cam's a bit of a savage too. And at 197, I'm not sure whether he stays at 197 for the duration of his career. But currently at 197, they rank him in the top 25.
I see him at 22.
29 is where Flow Wrestling has. Where do you
22
have,
for Intermat.
22 is where they have him. And again, you're going through this incredible group. Stephen Buchanan at number 1 from Iowa, Jacob Cardenas from Michigan, Josh Barr from Penn State. He's got Isaiah Salazar from Minnesota, Zach Bronigal from Illinois. It's a loaded stack. And then sitting at 13, Wyatt Volker from Northern Iowa, sitting in his immediate space. So, and then in the heavyweight division, it's an interesting thing because you have wrestlers. Harley Andrews has made the decision, and he's wrestling at heavyweight, and his body is adjusting to true natural heavyweight status. He currently sits at 28 in Flow Wrestling, and he's a sophomore, so he's got room to wiggle. Where do you see him?
Intermat has him at number 23 in their rankings, up a spot from last time.
Where do they have Lance Runyon from UNI?
They have him at number 16.
Right. So again, first things first, there's a load of business. And the heavyweight division, for what it was, Penn State came into the season with the national favorite at heavyweight, Greg Kirkvliet. And shocker that Penn State has a hammer, a sledgehammer at the back end of this national championship lineup. But a thing happened that we haven't had happen in a while.
A very wrestling thing happened,
right,
DP. It was so wrestling. Very wrestling.
To go pro and get to go WWE pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, you know what? I've got eligibility.
May as well use it.
Might as well use it.
Just for fun. Just kicks and gigs.
Grins and giggles. And Gable Stevenson. Now, have you seen him in person?
No, I have not.
So the Big Ten, was it the Big Ten or the national tournament that was here a couple of years ago?
The Big Ten.
Big Ten was here. And you hear the rumblings of wrestlers, and you hear wrestlers talk about other wrestlers, and you hear coaches talk about wrestlers. But to hear fans talk about the wrestler, 2 wrestlers, about Gable Stevenson, was remarkable. And he walked into the space. So I'm standing there in the tunnel where wrestlers are stretching and getting loose, right? And then they walk onto the floor, and they've got. This was 2 years ago, and he was the dude. He was the dude 2 years ago. He came back and said, mine.
Yeah.
All of this belongs to me.
Mm-hmm.
I allowed you to think that you had a shot, but this belongs to me. Here's my mission, is to get you on the 17th against Penn State to a meet. Now, maybe get you to Minnesota.
Why? Do you want me to get folded in half?
Well, I'm not going to put you in a mat or in a singlet, but I think getting you to sit mat side just to experience it. And I could just say, sitting mat side, in my mind, I found myself stressing at a higher level at wrestling matches than I was at basketball, football, baseball, or otherwise. Because you're wrestling with them. Like you're turning your wrist, you're squeezing your hand, you're compressing your leg. Like you're doing all the things that you want them to do, except for it's not really helping them because.
But it's just like why you turn when you play video games. You know, it makes you feel like you're contributing.
Like you feel like, okay, let me help out. We need to work on that. So if we can't get you to Minnesota, we need to get you to Penn State. And then remember, we're going to go to break, but remember this. If you're listening, go to Huskers.com or go on the Nebraska app and get tickets for Penn State, January 17th. Sell it out with Husker fans. Sell it out with Husker fans. Sell it out with Husker fans. We'll go to break and close it out for 2024 and Takedown Tuesdays on the ticket.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail Troche, you won't go back to the little blue pill. Our troches go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmale.com.
Back to Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling head coach Mark Manning, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. So as we close out 2024 Takedown Tuesdays, again, we will carry this all the way through national championships in 2025. Big Ten tournament, national championships will probably send somebody to the Big Ten tournament for wrestling this year, and the nationals as well. Austin, check out where the Big Ten tournament for wrestling and the national tournament where they will be held.
The 2025, not 2024. The most recent ones were held in College Park, Maryland, and we get Evanston. Northwestern.
So Northwestern will host, and then March.
NCAAs will be Philly, Wells Fargo Center,
home of the Fighting Sixers,
and Cleveland, St. Louis, and Minneapolis. The next three.
I'm actually intrigued because I think that's a busy weekend because that's the March Madness weekend.
March 20th through 22nd. So that's probably first round. Probably first round.
Why do you torture me so? I would love to go to the national championships. And the Big Ten championship.
That's first round, first and second rounds.
Yeah, and the Big Ten championships, it's 2 days, three sessions. I think we'll be in Evanston. What's the travel? Do you fly into Chicago or do you fly into Evanston?
Oh, I just drive. It's an 8-hour drive. It's not
8-hour drive to Evanston.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I did the drive once. I've driven to Chicago my fair share of times. Evanston just once. But if we look it up right now, if we were to take off from 93, oh come on, Google Maps, work with me. Work with me. To let's just say Welsh Ryan Arena in Evanston, we were to leave right now, 8 hours on the dot.
8 hours.
That's a nice campus. Not surprisingly.
Yeah, there's a lot of. So from Chicago to Evanston is like 40 minutes. So I guess the different distance between here and Omaha.
Oh, it is not the distance between here and Omaha. It is the Chicago traffic between here, between Chicago and Evanston. They are not far apart.
Is that all traffic?
Oh,
it's 14 miles.
All traffic. Yeah.
He says 14 miles.
Yes. It's literally 14 miles.
It's 14 miles. Like if you want to understand
up the coast, up the Lake Michigan
literally,
coast.
Right. It really and most of it is the back is the front end leaving Chicago.
Yeah.
Taking you 32 minutes of the 14 miles.
Yeah. That's what we're working with.
Now it says 20 miles.
Ah.
But 14 of the miles is all traffic.
Yep.
It's just congested traffic. I think that would be a thing. And then I'd be curious to know how many Husker fans, how many wrestling fans go to the Big Ten championship. You know,
I don't know.
And based on Vegas, Nebraska will have, shocker, a great fan support of family and whatnot at the Big Ten tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Because they showed out in Vegas. So there's that. So we'll figure that out. Austin, I got some keep or not or don't keep.
Oh, this is always.
It's always tough.
Let's say fun. Let's say fun, DP. It's always fun.
It's always
fun.
Tough, but it's moments. So we'll close out and we'll do rapid fire. Close out 2024 by asking you which of these moments were greater moments or bigger moments in 2024. Ready?
Okay.
So the emergence of Caitlin Clark as a national icon or Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam. What do you keep?
That was my number 2 moment of the year. This Rick and I did.
Okay.
Freddie Freeman with the backstory. It was hard to pick a Caitlin Clark moment because she kind of took over the spring and into the summer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I probably begrudgingly give the nod to Caitlin Clark, even if I can more easily identify the moment for Freddie Freeman.
Steph Curry and his Olympic gold medal performance, or Caitlin Clark in the Final Four.
Well, Caitlin Clark didn't make it to the Olympics. Steph Curry did. So,
ouch.
Night, Steph.
Shohei Ohtani's moments, or Steph Curry's moment.
I put Steph at number 1 and Shohei at number 4. Specifically the Miami game, where he went 6 for 6 with the 3 homers and the 2 stolen bases, 10 RBI to go, 50-50. So I still take Steph.
Steph in the Olympics, gold medal performance, or Simone Biles' Olympic gold medal performance.
The comeback from Simone was absolutely special. I still go with Steph.
I can go with that. I can go with that. Is that your moment? Is Steph Curry's Olympic gold medal performance your moment of 2024?
It is. I think it started against France as well with the night, the behind the back against 2 defenders. And then Steph in his first Olympics rescues Team USA, keeps the streak alive. It's my moment.
He bailed him out. He absolutely bailed him out. How good was his move the other night?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
is that the move of his career?
No.
What's the greatest move of Steph's career?
The greatest move of Steph Curry's career was the one against the Clippers, where he's weaving in and out of their entire team and shoots the one he's barely looking at the rim. Yeah.
Turns a corner and says that's gonna go.
But the Steph Curry moment is the 35-footer against OKC. That's his legacy.
It's nice to have a bunch. Listen, we will. That'll be it for Austin and I. Let me say this. 2024 has been so exceptional and so good to us that I could not even dream it. I don't dream that big. Thank you for listening in 2024. I'll thank you in advance for listening for 2025. We'll follow the stories. We'll follow the Huskers. We'll follow Lincoln. We'll follow Nebraska together. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve and a fantastic 2025. Happy New Year's Eve, and we'll see you in 2025.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your